How's it going, guys? Zoro here once again for another live reaction to One Piece, man. We are here after another break week, chapter 1163. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a wonderful Sunday afternoon, man. I'm ready, man. I might not even mess around too much. I might just jump right in, bro. I've been needing my One Piece fix. These breaks have been killing me, dude. I understand them. I accept them. I completely get it, but I need my One Piece, bro. These breaks are just killer, man. But anyway, we're live on both YouTube and on Twitch. If you haven't supported one of those platforms, feel free to do so if you're on one or the other. We are, what is it? Oh, what's going on, Uninspired? How we doing? Good to see you, man. Be sure to like the video, guys, if you're just joining in. Support the stream. Get some more people in here. And then we're going to get started in a little bit. Just going to wait a few minutes, do the usual yap session. You know how it goes. I just saw, a couple minutes ago, actually, right before I went live. Yo, Pudding, what's good, Pudding? How we doing? I just saw before I went live that there's going to be a big announcement in a couple days regarding the live action and the anime. I mean, that's very exciting. I don't know what announcement the anime could make that would make sense. Maybe they're talking about the new anime, the new animated series, the Wit Studio anime. That would be something nice, but we'll see. Do I care at all about the outcome of the World Series? Not particularly. There's only like a specific selfish reason I would care, and that's because if the Dodgers lose, then there wouldn't be as much pressure on the MLB to remove the spending spree that goes on, which admittedly should happen, objectively should happen. And they should put a salary cap. But as a Mets fan, we directly benefit from having a billionaire owner. So yeah. So if the Dodgers lose, there's less of a push to curb the spending. So that's the only reason why I care. Plus, I was a big fan when I was growing up of Vladimir Guerrero Sr. He was one of my favorite players growing up, favorite batting stances. Big fan of Vlad Guerrero. So to see his son putting in work to being the all-star he is, I wish good things for him. Plus, the Dodgers, man, they gotta lose, bro. I'm sorry, they gotta lose. It's gotta happen. TJ, what's going on? How we doing? Murphs, how we doing? Good to see you guys. Thank you for supporting the stream. Be sure to like the video. We're going to be starting our stream very soon. What if the Shanks head bump unlocks the region of the brain that activates Conqueror's Haki? I think that I did hear that. I did hear that when the chapter dropped about that being his like Goku moment where he unlocks something, but I don't know. It depends on what you believe the nature of Conquerors to be. Is it something that you're born with? Or is it something that you can unlock, right? There's a lot of people saying this or that, and that, translations, people take one way or another, right? I don't know. I would like to believe it's not something that you can just unlock. I like it where it's like a special thing that only certain people have. I know that gives a little bit of like a genetic advantage, and that's got its own issues. Sure. But I'd still prefer it to like anyone can unlock it no matter what, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, it just feels cheapened by the fact that if anyone can just unlock it, then it's like, all right, we're giving it to this person, we're giving it to that person. That's why I am a team anti giving it to like someone like Usopp or Nami. Not because I hate those characters or think they, or this and that. It's not about that. It's about, look, man, there's levels to this shit, and we shouldn't be giving out joke Conqueror's Haki to people. And if Usopp gets it, it's a joke. I'm sorry. It's a joke. I know that's a controversial take in some corners of the One Piece fandom. I know a lot of people want him to have it, but I feel like that's a joke. He does, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know Oda doesn't take himself too seriously, but there are certain lines we shouldn't cross, and I think that would be one of them. I'm just saying. But yeah, pull up the stream or the chapter along the stream, and we're gonna be starting very soon. But yeah, there's gonna be a big One Piece announcement in a couple days. I just saw. I don't know. Live action. What do you think we're getting in the live action drop? No worries, DJ. No worries. Most people, I imagine, just aren't watching me but listening to me. How's it going, guys? Aren't watching me but listening to me instead. You know what I mean? The card collection is pretty good. I haven't bought the last couple weeks. I'm letting it sit a little bit. I think there's a new set that just dropped or is just dropping. I might end up grabbing some packs for, but you know, thank you for asking it. The set's looking pretty solid. You know, I still need to get a little bit more luck on my side, but we're getting there. I haven't been the luckiest with my pulls, I'll be honest. I've been pulling crap. Maybe I need to just get a box so I get some guaranteed good pulls at least, you know, as opposed to buying the individual packs and hoping for the best. Because who knows, maybe there's a way to check the packs or they reseal them. You never know, you know. But we're probably going to open more packs on stream at some point, for sure. But yeah, I think I've yapped enough. I think it's time to start the reaction. One Piece 1163. Yeah, so let's do it, man. And like I said before, if you're just joining, like the video, spread it around, share it, all that good stuff. Support the stream, support your boy. I'd appreciate that. All right. That being said, let's go. Okay, chapter 1163 promises. We've got Luffy on hanging out with some monkeys. Cover request by Toshika Zoo. Luffy parkouring around town with a pack of Japanese macaws. Cool. All right. Right into it, baby. Right into it. We got God Valley once again. Emu controlling Saint Saturn is awesome. Look at that, bro. Look at that, dude. Ah. And this is really clever from Emu's perspective because it looks like Saint Saturn is doing this and not Emu because, he's maintaining his anonymity by utilizing the body of another person to, you know what I'm saying? Such eyesores. Just killing them all. You don't care. It's going after the Marines, isn't it, on their side? Scratch that. Looks like he has it out for all of us. Everyone fall back. Keep your distance. Attacking is prohibited. Secure the escape crowd instead. Hey, get a hold of yourselves. The pain, it's oddly compelling. The pain, it's oddly compelling? What? The pain is oddly compelling. Does that mean, is that a Saturn thing? Is that an Emu thing? I doubt this man is just a masochist. I don't understand. That's weird. What are you babbling about, dummy? Damn it, my crew's been... Gavin, cover these guys. Carry the treasure and get out of here. Not this again. You just don't do anything crazy, okay? What the hell is that freaking monster? No idea. Saint Saturn just transformed. One of the 5 elders, huh? This is my first time seeing one. What a fitting look for the head of those maggots. Vice Admiral. Vice Admiral, keep it down. Oh shit! Ah, Rocks, baby, look at him, 10 toes down. Look at him just fucking standing there, aura farming. Hey, if it isn't the Rat King, not Shanks, came to kill me in person, huh? Oh, that's so Rocks is the GOAT, man. He's the greatest to ever do it, man. I'm sorry, bro. Rocks is just that man. He's that guy. He's him. Hey, if it isn't the Rat King, came to kill me in person, huh? So thou art the one, Davy. Ooh, what do you mean by that? So thou art the one, Davy Jones. Afraid you got the wrong guy. I never ever met that man. What's that? What's that? What is that? What is this, Davy Jones? What are we doing? He met him before. He knows who he is. Why is he calling him Davy Jones? Got to do with the Buccaneers? Probably got to do with the Buccaneers. Right? I guess the same way that he said Nika when talking about Luffy, Davy Jones when talking about Rocks. I mean, it's not exactly a one-to-one comparison, I imagine, but I don't know. He's having Vietnam flashbacks, I guess. Afraid you got the wrong guy. I've never met the man. That said, I believe promises are meant to be kept. That is precisely why your wretched ilk must be expunged from the annals of history. That is precisely why your wretched ilk must be expunged from the annals of history. Why do you talk like that, bro? I know you're old. I guess that's why he talks like that. Moo's world remains incomplete. The world ain't yours. Rocks, that crazy bastard, is going after Saint Saturn. What now? Rear Admiral, should we provide backup? Well, damn right we should. Move it. Vice Admiral Garp. Wait, what? Who exactly are you backing up? What is Garp gonna do? Interesting. The pirates are taking the treasure. Stop them. Those are renowned, world-renowned items. Things are getting pretty crazy. Glug. How's the transport situation looking? We're ready to go, Captain John. This is goodbye then, Rocks. Pirates. Oh, damn, he's splitting off? He's splitting off? Not Captain John, dude. Come on, man. What's going on? What was that terrible shriek? A Navy ship. I'll have them take the kid. What the... What the hell? I cannot tell what's happening. Did he get stabbed? He's flying off. Yeah, wait, the treasure. Our metals are reacting to something. Don't let go. Oh, I know what he's doing. Last chapter, we had the metal arm, and I saw the metal arm. I'm like, looks like somebody I remember. This is the former Captain Kidd Devil Fruit user. Big Eater. To me, my treasure. Look at him. Oh, look at that. He's taking all the gold, all the treasure, all the booty. It's got to be Captain John's magnet power. Yep. Yep. It's causing a strong magnetic pull to the valley's southeast entrance. Do whatever you want, just get out of my way. Roger. John, that snake. Sly Snake Red Cannon. Kaboom. Captain John. What did he do? He did something. There was an explosion, and then Captain John's like all bloodied and shit. There's my boy Dragon. Falls to the ground. Oof. Hey, Genzui, why'd you attack Captain John? You really think that he'd split all that loot with us? Aren't each one of those treasure chests worth at least $1 billion? A billion? Can't blame anyone for wanting it hog it all. Can't blame anyone for wanting to hog it all. Really. Oh, and he's trying to take out. He's trying to take him out too. You can't, Vice Admiral, bro. Like, why is it? Oh, that was Mr. Five's devil fruit. Oh, shit. I was like, what was he doing? Okay. That makes sense. I was like, what is this? What is that? A fucking booger? Like, you can't get more creative with that devil fruit than a fucking booger, man. Like, really? I will say, though, it's fucking hilarious. It's so funny that Captain Kidd's devil fruit is just, like, destined. The magnet fruit is destined to be with bums, dude. It's such a broken fruit on paper, but it's handed into the hands of people who really can't do shit. This man got taken out by Mr. Five's power? Really? Look, man, I'm joking, of course. I know Kid's not a bum, technically. But he got one shot, man. I'm sorry. He got one shot. Bro's biggest accomplishment is teaming up with Law in order to defeat Big Mom. And, you know, there's arguments as to who is performing better during that fight. Kid would have tanked that. I'll say that. Kid would have absolutely tanked that booger blast. At least. Kid's got a lot more going from than Captain John, at least. This man really ain't shit. Oh, that's fucking hilarious, bro. Captain John, bro, you are a scrub. So it's okay. So I understand how it happened with Dragon. He got pulled because he has the gun slung to his back. He got pulled along with all the other treasure boxes. Captain John, you can't, Vice Admiral. That's one of the world's overseers. It looks like a pest to me. So he's gonna attack Saturn? Okay, Garp. I see you. Save some for me, Rox. Kaido, you damn brat. I'll kill you. You jealous? Check this out. Rah, this is my catch, this is my catch, Garp. Galaxy. Ah! Look at the ball. Shit. Oh, shit. Yo! Let's fucking go, baby. Look at that. Impact. Divine Departure. Pandemonium of the Abyss. Shattering Void. Ikoku Sovereignty. Dragon. Bro. That's actually insane. That's actually crazy. Well, Zoromorph, it's highly implied that Kid lost to Ben Beckman when when they first fought because he didn't get to see Shanks and he got his arm cut off. So he didn't only lose to Emperor level people. So just putting that out there. And I'm pretty sure he got beat by Big Mom's crew as well. Didn't even see her. He got beat by Big Mom's crew, if I'm not mistaken. So that's not necessarily true. But I'm focused on this panel, man. What the fuck is this? This gotta be the biggest team-up attack we've seen in one. It is. It's not even what if. It is the biggest team-up attack we've seen in all of One Piece. Bro, look at this. This is a fucking... Oh my god. Can you imagine this animated? Galaxy Impact, Divine Departure. Pandemonium of the Abyss, Shattering Void, Dragon, Ikoku Sovereignty, all in one. Right in Emu's face, dude. And Emu's not even breaking a sweat. He took all of that. Bro, he took all of that! No problem. No problem. No problem. And then lightning strikes. Conqueror's Haki. Knocking out motherfuckers. What was that? Is this some sort of Armageddon or something? Look alive. The treasure flew all the way, all over the place. Pick it up. Dahaha. You never miss a beat, Rayleigh. A pirate's priorities never waver. Yeah. Huff, huff. That was intense. Huff. Is the baby... Huh? What? Hold on, we got a song. Thank you, Pudding, for the subscription.
Is Garp the hardest character to understand in One Piece?
Garp is very confusing. Yeah, I can't argue with that if you want to choose him as the most confusing, because yes, he's a fence sitter. You know, it really, like, fence sitters bother me, man. I'm gonna be honest. In general, in life, sometimes fence sitters piss me off. I can understand if you don't know, like, if you're ignorant of a situation, you're like, I don't want to take a side. That's one thing. You know, I get it, right? I hate some motherfucking fence sitters where it's like, well, both sides have good points, and you know, maybe or something, you know, maybe, you know, I don't know. I can't stand fence sitters, bro. Just fucking, you know, stand for something for once, bro. Stand for something, man. And Garp is just, he's too flaky. He's too, like, you know, whatever he feels like in the moment. He doesn't stand for anything, bro. He doesn't have, like, the Marines, like, there are Marines with certain ideals. Aokiji, ideals. Even Kobe, ideals. Smoker, ideals. Akainu has ideals, and they're not ideals I agree with, but he has ideals. He has his own sense of justice. What is Garp's sense of justice? What does he stand for? What does he believe in? I couldn't tell you. That is the problem with Garp. For me. I still love Garp. I'm not going to be mad at him for doing what he's done so far, you know. He's just a fence sitter. You know. He's a Switzerland-ass motherfucker, and I don't appreciate that. I mean, shout out to Switzerland, but not... You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So what the hell happened with the kid? With Shanks, I mean. That was intense. Is the baby, huh? And he's holding... What is he holding? He's holding like a piece of wood? What? Where'd he go? Gua. Oh, and Shanks gets into the treasure chest. Ah, I see. That's where... Okay, so this is where Dragon lost the kid and he went into the treasure chest. Ah, alright. Now it makes sense, because all the treasure got pulled to a singular area. Dragon lost him, got into the chest. It's far too late to throw it up. Then pay me back. There they are, far away in the forest running. Crack, crack. My one attack was all it took. No way, it was all me. Hey, don't tell me you're... A new branch of the Davy clan. The woman and her child, frantically trying to survive. Such dangerous lives must not be set loose. Yo, he's talking shit about his wife, dude. He's talking shit about his wife and his kid. He's like, I see that your loved ones are running away. That can't be allowed. No, someone must do something about it. Emu's such a fucking bitch, dude. Emu's such a bitch, man. Like, really? That's what we're doing? That's how we're handling this? Stop it. What are you trying to do? Cut an emu. I'm noticing a lot of cutting attacks, guys. I don't know. Weird. Weird that Rox is using so many cutting attacks, right? Stop it. What are you trying to do? Huh? Swoosh, swoosh. It will not be Moo who acts. Humph. What is this? It doesn't even hurt or itch. Thou shalt be the one to exterminate them. Go forth and slay your wife and child. Huh? That's absurd. What are you talking about? Oh my god, no. Oh my god, no. I know it's gonna happen. But anyway, before we get there, the Marines earlier mentioned that their injuries didn't hurt. And right now, Rox is saying him being stabbed through the chest didn't even hurt. What is happening with that? What is going on? Emu's attacks don't physically hurt people? Does he have like a numbing agent? Is he attacking one's soul instead of their body, maybe? That would be my guess, is like, it doesn't physically hurt because he's not attacking your physical body. He's attacking your soul. Or something along those lines. Because, like, don't get it twisted. I think there's a reason, like, Brook's ability with his connection to the underworld. I don't think that's some sort of like just joke. Like, I think there's actually an underworld, and then Zoro with his whole like meeting the Grim Reaper thing, King of the Underworld nonsense that he's doing. There's something there, right? There is an underworld. There is some sort of weird, like, pseudo-spiritual thing going on here. I just, don't have all the puzzle pieces right now to put them together. But I think it's all connected in some way. But anyway, let's continue. It will not be Moo who acts. What is this? It doesn't even hurt or itch. Thou shalt be the one to exterminate them. And go forth and slay your wife and child. Huh? That's absurd. What are you talking about? Dami reversi. Oh no. Wheeze, huff, huff. What lies in store for Rox's family? I had a feeling this is how it was gonna go. Why Garp and Roger teamed up to kill Rox. Because he's a fucking demon now. Is this the end of Rox, man? Like, is that the end of Rox? That's really sad if it is, man. Because I mean, if you get Dami to reverse seed, you're basically not yourself anymore. You're not yourself. You're not. This. You're no longer yourself anymore. So did Rox essentially just die? Is that the latest we're seeing of Rox, man? Even if it is, he's the GOAT, bro. He's so fucking he's so goated. I don't care. I wanted to see more of Rox, though. I really did. We'll see what happens next chapter. Maybe he can resist the Domi. I don't know, man. I don't know. Man. That's unfortunate. We're just gonna end the chapter there. Maybe Zoro. I know people are mad because this ability is too OP. Personally, I'm saving my judgment, but it sucks. This is the final villain, man. Like, he should be OP. You want the final villain to suck ass? We know how this story ends. We knew we were reading this with Rox ultimately becoming killed. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you know what I mean? Like, what do people expect? Emu to like, Emu fucking tanked, literally, all of the strongest people we know of in the One Piece world at this time. And of our current time that are not dead. He tanked a full-on attack with all these people, all using conquerors or some of them using conquerors, right? He tanked that to the face. He tanked the strongest combination attack ever displayed in One Piece, and he brushed it off without a blood splurt, without a sign of sweat, nothing. He just ate it, man. So, like, the normal Holy Knights, conquer attacks like this. We saw what happened with Garling. Like, he had trouble regenerating. Emu just tanked the shit. And then he comes back, and he's able to turn you into a villain just by stabbing you. I mean, I guess the tech is to not be stabbed by him. You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't be stabbed by him, because he got stabbed by him and then got turned, right? There's got to be limitations to the ability we're just not aware of right now. Right? It might seem just on face value how strong it is, but there has to be limitations or certain things. There has to be rules to the game, right? It can't just be like, he can do whatever with no limitation. Right? This is the final villain. What is there to complain about? He's supposed to be strong. He's supposed to be the strongest thing to overcome. Well, Sabo didn't dodge. But I'm imagining Sabo took that, like, weird, like, arrow attack, though. I mean, I guess it's similar. Well, this isn't an arrow. This is just, like, tentacles coming out. I don't know what happened with Sabo, like, I guess he didn't want to Dami to reverse him. I don't know. Like I said, we don't know the ability. It's like, how can we make all these arguments? Like, all we know is that it worked in this instance when Emu was directly involved, cut him with his own tentacles. We know that he used like a spell book in Elbaf that caused like the ground to summon a pentagram that flipped them upside down or whatever. So there's some magic involved. Like I said, I do think it's some sort of soul manipulation. That is my guess. I want you guys to remember this from what I'm saying, because my memory is shit, but I'm going to say it on camera, on record. I think this is all just soul manipulation. I think that there's got to be like the two worlds, the underworld, and then there's the world of One Piece, right? The surface world. When he uses Dami Reversi, he basically makes it so he traps the you that makes you, your soul, in the underworld and keeps you there, while simultaneously manipulates your body with some sort of magic to give it some sort of, undead life or evil sentience, demonic energy, however you want to flavor it. That is a twisted version of you. But like I said, there's rules to it. There's rules to it. There has to be. I still think that you're alive, probably, even if you've been Dami Reverse. I imagine this arc, Dory and Bragi will be back to normal by the end of it. They'll find a way to undo the Domi Reversi, right? You know what I'm saying? How is Luffy going to defeat Emu? I would imagine Nika, with his reality warping abilities, probably is immune to the Dami Reversi. That's my guess. Luffy can't be changed because he's literally like the epitome of freedom, and Emu's abilities are the epitome of enslavement. He's enslaving you with his ability and making you work for him, right? So Nika is the representation of freedom. So I would imagine Luffy has the ability to ignore being changed, to ignore being switched like everyone else is because of his unique capabilities. And maybe Blackbeard's also has that same capabilities because something tells me he was hunting this particular devil fruit in order to reverse, in order for a specific reason related to Emu, right? He's doing all of this for rocks. We can't forget Blackbeard's motivations here, so keep that in mind. Yeah, like you said, it's a great point. Hold on one second. Can't read your name for some reason. A lot of comments are jumping up. One second. Yeah, Ocean Flan says, we don't even know what the ability is yet. Can't judge on face value. But yeah, it makes sense. An immortal god-like figure who is the final villain of One Piece. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want him to be a bitch? You want him to be weak? You want him to be like, oh, they attacked me, I'm going to run away. Like, we need to be stronger than the previous generation. Like, anyone who thinks that the previous generation is going to be stronger than Luffy in our generation by the end of One Piece doesn't understand how it works. You know what I mean? You have to... Though the previous generation couldn't get it done for whatever reason, right? They couldn't, like Roger couldn't because of his illness, couldn't achieve what he wanted to achieve. Luffy has to surpass him. Luffy, the crew of the Straw Hats, and that generation, have to surpass the legends of the last generation. Not to say the legends of the last generation weren't incredible and weren't more powerful than the generation currently is right now, but in the future, has to be. So seeing the villain take out that previous generation, essentially, or scoff at their attacks, is kind of awesome because it showcased just how tall that mountain is that we need to climb in order to defeat him. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting you know. Domi University 100% has rules like a game. That's what I'm saying. Like, just because we don't understand or know all the facts right now doesn't mean that there aren't limitations or rules or things in place or guidelines or limitations we're unaware of right now. There has to be. There has to be. Chaos Pudding says, Domi Reversity... Oh, you already said that. Socksip says, Luffy can only get Domi Reversite on his homeland. So far, the Giants have been Domi Reversite in Elbaf and Rocks in his homeland. Okay. So you're saying you can only be swapped when you're in your homeland? I don't know, that seems randomly specific. I mean, that technically is some guideline we've seen in 2 of the instances, right? And he didn't do it with Sabo. He hasn't done it with anyone else on this island so far. And it's quite possible that Emu lured Rocks here. But no, that's not true. Because information about Shaki and everything was leaked by Ginny, wasn't it? And big news and stuff, so yeah, I don't know. If this whole situation was some sort of like setup by Emu to get Rocks onto God Valley, right? That'd be kind of sick. That would be kind of sick. Hold on a sec. Come on. What are we doing? What are we doing right now? Hold on. There we go. Hold on. Let's get the man who jumps in here. We got to get our Japanese representation here. See what your comment says. Man, after seeing the God Valley flashback, my perspective on Rocks completely changed. They were completely different from the image I had of them from Sengoku and the others. Blackbeard with the power of the Yami Yami no Mi, which nullifies Imu's powers. Seems like he could fight Imu, or so I think, but maybe I'm wrong. I 100%, I just said it a minute ago, 100% think that Blackbeard chose the Yami Yami no Mi for a reason more than just, oh, I can take away or have multiple devil fruits. I think he named his sword after his ship after his father. Excuse me, the Saber of Zebek, the Sword of Rocks. Essentially, like he is the retribution, the sword of the man who was killed by Emu, right? And there still needs to be the final piece of how does Blackbeard learn that Emu and the world government were ultimately responsible for his death, outside of the propagandized story of like, oh, it was Roger and Garp working together, right? How does he come to that knowledge? He's still a young lad, right? Maybe Rox confronts them both and something happens. Who knows? Who knows? Magic has rules. Magic always has rules. Any magic system that is good has rules and limitations. Alright? And we know Emu uses a fucking magic book to do all of his nonsense. So we know it's magical in nature. They did say Blackbeard never sleeps. That is true. That is true. Dami Reverse, he's almost like a Nen ability. Yeah, like, I was comparing it, I think, like, I compare it to, like, Krollo's ability, right? Krollo's got the book. He has specific limitations of what he can use, the different abilities with the book. I think when Emu first used the book, I mentioned Krollo, because I think it's probably, like, it's not super similar, but there's going to be some overlap. I'm telling you guys, like, let's not overreact here to... I mean, does any... Like, let me ask chat, and be honest with me, chat. I'd love to hear your perspective on this. I don't only like hearing things that I necessarily agree with. I want to hear different perspectives. Do you find a problem, as currently written, with Domi Reversi? Do you not like it? Let me know if you're someone who really dislikes it. I can understand if you're like a fan of Rocks and like, oh, to have him go out like this, assuming this is the last we see of the true Rocks, is kind of underwhelming. Like, I will admit I was kind of shocked that it was that quick. But like I said, there still is more. Maybe he can somehow fight against the Domi Reversi. Oh, both Dory and Broggy got pierced by Emu? I don't remember seeing that. Did they? I'll take your word for it, but if that's an indicator of what's needed, that's big. Like, you can just dodge the attacks, right? If you just don't get stabbed, you won't get turned. I mean, to be fair, like, normally if you get stabbed, you'll die, so getting reversed isn't, you know what I'm saying? But there is also the element of the attacks not actually hurting you physically. Because, like, were people really complaining about this? I legitimately have to know, because I don't see it. When Broggy got his arm shot off. Ah, okay. I see. Okay, so maybe that is a requirement. Maybe the requirement is the homeland thing. I think that's very niche and weird. But that could mean that a battle in Windmill Village might happen at some point in the future. Can you imagine? But it's probably more likely the stabbing thing. Like I said, I think this is just pure soul manipulation. There is an underworld. There is a hell in the One Piece world where these... where the Gorosei's powers, their abilities come from, where Emu comes from, in my opinion. He is the ruler of hell. He's basically the devil, right? And it makes sense that Emu could utilize his powers to turn people into demons if he is the devil. Just gotta stab you. Seems like a pretty reasonable power to me. Going, guys. Hold on a second. Got another Japanese comment from the man who jumps. Let's hear it. Let's see it. Oh, Jesus. I don't care about the power. I think it really shows who will be facing off against the final villain of the series, what they'll have to face. Yeah, I mean, this is the final villain, man. It's the final villain, dude. See, the thing about Garp, which still bothers me, is he's seeing all of this, like he's seeing rocks being turned into a demon. He's seeing this clearly evil thing, right? He thinks it's Saturn, right? Which makes sense, right? He thinks it's Saturn. He sees this evil entity. And it's one thing to, he's doing the right thing in the moment where he's fighting against Emu, right? He hit him with a galaxy impact. But it's another thing that despite that, he stays with the Marines. He stays with the world government. I understand the world government, or not the world government, the Marines do help people on a day-to-day basis. They keep pirates in check. They maintain the stability of the world. They do good things. Like, they obviously do. That's been showcased in the story. But could you, it's like being a police officer when you know that your police chief is the most evil person in the world. Or your police chief, you constantly abuses his powers, constantly has police officers do terrible things, all for his own personal gain, is like the worst human being that has done the most unspeakable crimes. Are you going to stay on the force for that? I don't think it's unreasonable to say that if someone is aware of that and is a good-hearted person, that they would say, look, I'm going to step down. I don't believe in this. You know what I'm saying? Is that a good analogy? I don't know. Garp, like I said, like someone said before, Garp is the most confusing character. I think it was Pudding that said that. Garp is so confusing. I don't know what to think about him. Oda really does try to balance a fucking a tightrope with him, and it's hard. Sometimes he falls off that tightrope. I think Garp is a neutral character in the series. He doesn't take positions, just wants to maintain a position of being recognized as the hero of the Navy. Which I don't know if he actually cares about the title. To be fair, the man who jumps. I don't think he's in it for the recognition. I think he truly believes Marines help people. Marines are the good guys. And I don't know how you can maintain that position given all that he knows. You know what I mean? I know they're necessary evil to maintain order and stability, but God, they really are corrupt. So I don't know, man. Especially bro, let's be honest. The current your current boss, the fleet admiral, killed your adoptive son. Your current boss killed your adoptive son in front of you. In front of you. And you're like, you better hold me down, Sengoku, or I'm going to get up and I'm going to do some terrible things. And you said that and you shook your fist even though you didn't really try to get up. You just said it. You didn't really try. But we'll say that you tried. We'll give you the benefit of the doubt in that moment. You meant it. You meant it. But then, a couple months later, you're like, oh, this man is... Or not a couple months. It was about a year later that he got promoted. A year later, this man gets promoted, and you're like, yeah, I think I'll stick around. Yeah, I think I'll stick around. You understand what I'm saying, bro? This man is giving you orders. And he killed Ace. He killed Ace, bro. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I understand he's like teaching Kobe and the new generation and Helmeppo and all these guys, right? Hibari and them. He's trying to teach the new generation to be good, and he's trying to be a positive influence in a corrupt system. But it's really hard to defend. He's hard to defend. It is. I want to defend him, but it's hard. It's difficult. Yeah, it's difficult. Does anyone else think that Emu is using the voice of all things to possess people on an advanced level because it's basically telepathy? I don't think it's actually anything telepathic though, because he has to physically stab you. It seems like, based on what everyone said, everyone that's been Domi reversed has been stabbed by Emu. So is it like? So how could it be? You know, I'm not gonna dismiss the fact that it could be something with the voice of all things related, but I don't know if telepathy is probably the best explanation for it. The voice of all things just could mean something a little bit more substantial than just you hear all things and understand all creatures, right? It could be something more deep and powerful. Like maybe knowing the voice of all things means that you know the souls of all creatures. And that's how Emu can manipulate creatures' souls. Who knows? Like I said, I am 100% on the souls manipulation train. Or spirit, or whatever you want to call it. Brook calls it soul. His magic, he can literally have his soul, like, disconnect from his body. So, it's a soul. It's a soul. There are souls in One Piece. That's a thing. It's not an abstract concept. It's a real thing in One Piece, right? So, manipulation of souls, I think, is a thing. How screwed are the Straw Hats, bruh? Yeah, it's bad. We can't forget that Emu currently is on Elbaf. Using Gunko's body. So how the fuck is Luffy gonna stop him? Conquerors wasn't enough in the past. What can they do? Legitimately, what could they do? Elbaf's about to be burnt down. I legitimately don't know how they're going to stop this. Unless Luffy has some sort of ability that is able to counteract it. I don't know. I love that they all attacked Emu with this is the most with the most powerful attack we've ever seen. That's what I'm saying. And he just took it. He just took it. I don't want to... Look, I know this is going to sound crazy. Because someone said Soul King Brook versus Soul Manipulator Emu. I know you said that, McDudes, as a joke. But I know this is going to sound crazy, but I don't think that's actually insane. In the sense, and I'm gonna be very specific when I say this, guys. Listen. Hear me out. Hear me out. Brook, rather, is probably Gunko's father, or related to Gunko in some way, knows Gunko. The only chance, like that connection, might be the key to severing Gunko from Emu, or Emu from Gunko, and sending him back to Marijo. I don't know if his soul manipulation powers will also play a factor. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm just saying I don't think it's a coincidence that Brook, being Gunko's probably father, is just a throwaway thing. I think that's going to play a role in what happens next, and I don't know how important it's going to be, but it might be just a little sprinkle on what needs to be done in order to save Elbaf. But I think if there is going to be an explanation, that might be it, dude. That might be it. I'm just saying, guys. Don't forget, Brook is Gunko's father, probably. Like, that would be so sick. Like, I love Brook, and I really would love to see him get a moment like that. I'm not saying him alone is going to be enough to save Gunko, but it could be a piece of the solution, right? Maybe Gunko comes to her senses. She hears Brooke's voice or him say something, or maybe he calls out to her, recognizes her, says something, and she has a moment of clarity, which stops Emu in a moment, which allows Luffy to do something, or you know what I'm saying, like, or Loki maybe does something. Remember, I do want to say, remember, guys, Loki's going to be a big part of this. Don't forget, because Rox, Rox said that there's two devil fruits that I'm looking for. One of them is on Elbaf. That's 100%, in my opinion, the devil fruit that Loki has. If Rox was looking for a specific devil fruit in order to take down Emu, then that's the same devil fruit that Loki currently has access to. And if Loki has access to something that has the potential to help take down Emu, that's another piece to the puzzle. So it has to be Loki and Luffy teaming up in order to at least banish Emu back to the Holy Land. I'm seeing the future, guys. My eyes are rolling into the back of my head. I'm seeing the fucking future. This is gonna happen. Write it down. Write it in stone. It's fucking happening, dude. The Jets won? No fucking way. They were down 7 with like 3 minutes left. Or 6, I guess. No fucking way they won. I kind of wish they didn't win. I want them to get them run over real big. I kind of want them to lose, to be honest, and that's crazy. Oh my god. They did a sweep throw. Oh, that's crazy. A fake sweep throw. That's crazy. Anyway, let's get back to the One Piece chapter. It's just crazy. There's a lot of theories I got going through my mind right now. God damn it, they just gotta fucking win, right? You had to win! The man who jumps, let's see what you have to say. It may have been a mistranslation. I would appreciate if Oda-sensei could explain in more detail why Garp remains in his high position after the God Valley incident. I now completely understand Dragon's position as a character and why he is a revolutionary. Dragon is completely justified in everything he's done. I don't like people shit on Dragon like, oh, he should have did this, should have did that. Do you understand what he's going up against? This is guerrilla tactics he's doing, and he's incredibly successful. In this arc, it was explained like there is still a food shortage and they're having problems. Things are bad. They sent Shamrock back to the Holy Land because of that very reason. If it wasn't for that, Shamrock would still be on the island. Right? I thought Justin Fields got benched. Is he playing today? Anyway, point is, Dragon's indirect attacks, guerrilla warfare, destroying supplies, blockading the Holy Land. It's incredibly smart and effective. Like, we don't see people being smart in One Piece. We just don't see it. Like Blackbeard. Who are the smartest characters in One Piece that have done like galaxy-brained 4D chess moves? Blackbeard. Robin's obviously brilliant, but like on the grand scheme of things, like who are the most intelligent like chess piece movers in One Piece? What Dragon's doing right now is just as brilliant from like a tactical and like a military perspective than anything. Oh, Tyra got hurt, so Field started. That's hilarious because our owner's like, our quarterback sucks, and we're benching him, and then he had to start anyway, and he won. That's crazy. Oh my god, bro. Fire Woody Johnson, bro. He's a bum. Fuck Harold, Demi reverse him, and Loki killed him. Possibly. Yeah. No one thought Rock's crew would help him, and here is Big Mom, Kaido, and Whitebeard. Yeah, man. I mean, to be fair, some of the members of the crew did abandon him, like John. And yeah, there is the theory out there that God Valley is Thriller Bark. So that's why John's corpse is on Thriller Bark, and Lang Ji's corpse is on Thriller Bark, and all that stuff. And one must ask, like, does that mean that Wang Ji's gonna die soon too? Because we saw Rox get defeated this chapter, or not Rox, excuse me. Captain John get defeated this chapter, so he got one-shotted. Bum. How do you have Magneto's powers and suck? Can we just talk about this? How do you have Magneto's powers and are trash? It's crazy to me. Vegapunk's play was super smart. Is that what you're trying to say? I mean, Vegapunk. Oh yeah, I mean Vegapunk is brilliant. Yeah, I mean clearly. I meant alive people. Well, technically Vegapunk's still alive. Sure, Vegapunk. Yeah, obviously. His broadcast was pretty brilliant. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. Although he could have said more, but you know, he could have said more. All right, the man who jumps says that Dog Holly is smart enough to knock him. What? The translation definitely is not right. I don't know what you're trying to say here. The translation broke on this one. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think Whitebeard's going to betray Rox. It's just a matter of this man is Domi Reversi. There's Emu and Saturn still running around. Like, what's gonna happen, dude? The question is, how the fuck did Rox get away from Emu in the first place? Like when they first met in Marijua, like what the fuck? I unfortunately think the only way for all these characters to get mind wiped. Nah, I don't think we'll get a mind wipe situation. Garp clearly remembers what happened and is annoyed when God Valley is brought up because he knows the truth of the situation. So I don't think so. Ohm's dog Holy on Skype is... Bro, I don't know what that means. I'm going to be honest. Ohm's... Who's Ohm? Ohm's dog Holly on Skype is smart enough to knock himself out? That's the same translation I got. I don't know what that means. I'm going to be honest. I'm having a hard time. Am I having a brain fart here? I don't understand. I don't understand. But let me just say, this chapter was insane, guys. This chapter was crazy. There's a lot of theories, a lot of things. Like, we're getting the final villain in a flashback. Emu is him. And one could wonder, I will say this, if people have criticisms about Domi Reversi. One does wonder if he has more gimmicks than just that. Is there more to Emu than just, here's my trap card, Domi Reversi, right? He obviously has the Conqueror's Haki, right? He knocked a bunch of motherfuckers out with the Conqueror's Haki. That hit, like, that panel with the Conqueror's Haki was, like, island-wide almost. Shit was crazy. So the question is, what else can he do? I do want to see him do more than just that, but we'll have to see. Oh, that dog on Skype. I don't know if I forgot his name. What the fuck are we bringing that boy up for? Oh, that's funny. Okay. You said on Skype. I'm like, what? A Skypea is smart enough to knock himself out. Okay, now I understand. Okay. I was so confused. That is the theory, but I don't know if that's true yet. We don't know for sure if it's like, hey, he can't do it. Maybe it's just a God Valley thing. Maybe it's not even a thing where Emu can't use his ability on your unless you're on your homeland. Maybe it's one of those things that for some reason on in the sky in Marishwa he can't use his ability for whatever reason. Because maybe the red line, since it's sitting on top of the red line, it's not connected to the earth. Emu's like the earth god or whatever, and the earth is connected to the underworld. So maybe he can only do it when he's on, like, you know what I'm saying, on solid ground, when he's in the world of the peasants, as they put it, right? Maybe it's one of those things where he can only do it when he's not in Marishwa, like when he's actually on the One Piece land, because it's connected to the hell. Because it would make sense that, you know, if Emu is a representation of the devil, what does the devil want to do? He wanted to conquer heaven and return to heaven, right? So, what if basically he did that? The devil, in this analogy, right, is Emu. Emu conquered the world of One Piece, put himself as high as anyone else can be, in the highest place on top of the red line, and basically made himself a place in heaven where he was denied for so long, so to speak, right? Maybe that is why Emu is reigning from atop of heaven there, while he can't necessarily use all of his capabilities there because it's not connected to where he's originally from. I'm just throwing some random shit out there, but I love spitting, man. I love spitting these theories. Emu in his real body is greater than Emu in Gorosei's bodies, which is greater than Emu in Honking Holy Night. Yeah, I would imagine. That's probably true. Luffy is facing a weaker Emu, possible. Oda told us Blackbeard is from Somalia. I assume so is Rocks. Anything from the country. So God Valley is Somalia. I don't know what to tell you. Pirates. That's the only thing I know about Somalia. Is pirates are pretty common. Want to do live reactions or know a friend that wants to start? Want to do live reactions? Do you want to do live reactions? Is that what you're saying? Or you know someone who wants to do live reactions, or know a friend that wants to start? I don't know anybody that wants to start doing reactions nowadays. The only thing I would say is if you're doing reactions, really, like, you got to invest your time. You know, you got to get the ball rolling early with the algorithm nowadays, because there's a lot of people doing One Piece content nowadays. When I started, there was a lot less. So understand that if you are interested in making One Piece content, you have to be incredibly invested. You got to you got to find an avenue or a lane that you fit in that really well, that you're confident in. Have a strategy going in. Don't just do it willy-nilly unless you're just doing it for fun, in which case, and you don't care about views, in which case, just have a good time. You know, be dedicated if you have time on your hands, because, you know, I can tell you from my experience, someone who doesn't have a whole lot of time on my hands, it's harder for me, you know, to get, you know, things rolling when you're dedicating a lot of your other time to different work and stuff. You have to really invest time into it. That's my advice, I suppose, if you're asking for it. Have a strategy ahead of time. Have a couple of videos made before you even start doing videos, just to practice speaking in front of a camera. It's not something that's easy at first for everyone. Some people are naturals at talking in front of a camera. Some people are not. It takes some time and a little bit of experience. Yes, that's what I would suggest, and just constantly try to improve, and constantly put out content. Be consistent with your releases. That's another thing. Inconsistency is a big killer in the algorithm, a big killer in retention and audience feedback. So understand that that's very important. So many reactors are brain dead clickbait merchants who don't actually engage with the text and go off of vibes. Look, man, that there's an audience for that in One Piece. I'm not gonna besmirch that. I'm gonna be honest. Like, look, people. There's a wide net of people who read One Piece and read it for different reasons, right? Some people read One Piece for one specific character and only care about what maybe one or two characters and only care about what those one or two characters do at any given time. And that's a perfectly valid reason. If you really like, Usopp and you're just invested in Usopp and that's the thing keeping you into One Piece and why you care about it, I'm not going to fault you for not caring about other things, right? There are people who are into the story purely for the adventure and the sense of mystery, who don't care about fights, don't care about power scaling, don't care about this or that, and that's completely valid, right? There are people who are only in it for the fights and for the combat and for the rivalry between characters and talking shit on Twitter, and that's completely valid too. Like, obviously, I would prefer it if people cared about the writing and the theorizing, because that's what I care about, right? I care about the story of One Piece, how it applies, how it's being set up, the characters' involvement, what their roles are going to be, the story going forward, the epic of it. It's an epic. This is an epic fantasy, right? I love epic fantasies, man. Um, the world building, the political aspects. There's so many elements to it that are there to enjoy, and I really that's really what's getting me into it. In addition to the characters, in addition to the fights, like I like a lot of the aspects of One Piece, but some people only really focus on the one aspect, and you know what? More power to them. I'm not going to tell people how to enjoy stuff, how to invest their time. Uh, you just gotta decide when reading or watching someone if you align with the things that they care about and the things that you care about. Not a problem, man who jumps. I hope that helped. I was kind of rambling there for a moment. Um, all good art is political. I mean, technically that's true, but I don't know. There's a couple of things I've seen on Rule 34 that I'm not so sure is exactly political. Uh, I'm just saying, dog. I'm just saying. And that's some good art. That's some quality art. I'll just put it that way. Uh, I don't want to get all pretentious about it because I hate some like seriously pretentious like motherfuckers that be like, you just don't understand the complexities and the depth of the One Piece's. His brain is so great you can comprehend Oda's mastery over the language of the world and of soul. Like, I'm not gonna do all that, okay? I'm not gonna do all that. But yeah, everyone enjoys One Piece for their own reasons. And I'm happy I have an audience that is on aligned with me and is on the same wavelength as me, that really care about getting into the details, getting into the nitty gritty, getting into the theorizing, getting into the setups that Oda's doing, catching them in the moment, and really getting into all of that. In addition to all the hype stuff too. So I do appreciate y'all. I thank you so much for stopping by. Nah, man, fuck anti-intellectualism. Look, man, there's a difference. There's a difference between being an intellectual and being a pretentious asshole that no one likes. You gotta find a good. You gotta find a good through line, bro. There has to be a balance there. You can have one. You can have a little bit of both, but you go too far in one direction where it's like on one hand, like, I don't care about any of this. I just want to see people throw hands. And then on the other side of thing, it's like, you just kind of like, you're drinking with your tea with your pinky up. You're like, the themes and the so incredibly complex. Like, there's got to be somewhere in between those two things we can meet on, bro. There's got to be somewhere in between we can meet on those. And I lean more towards the pinky up, tea sipping side of it, but I don't go full tea. I don't go full on, bro. You can't go full tea. You can't be that guy. You know what I mean? No one likes that guy. That those kind of that you get those get an eye roll from me sometimes, you know. Then can we assume the Holy Land is the Holy Land in the real world? Yeah, like I said, if Emu represents the devil, then him living in the Holy Land is him giving a middle finger to whoever the god of the original world was after defeating him in the first world. And we're just gonna have to disagree. We're just gonna have to disagree. It's fine. I'm fine with that. But yeah, so him conquering the Holy Land and living there now is just him flexing on that. If Oda is telling us every place in the One Piece world is a place of the real world, I don't think it's as specific as that. I think the SBS is in that in particular is more fun. You know what I mean? Like, there's a question like, oh, what characters represent which countries? It's just a fun thing to do. I don't think Oda's like actually drawing clear lines between Somalia and God Valley, or or Brazil and fucking Windmill Village, or you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I never said that. I never said that. Chaos Pudding. I if you watch more than an hour of my streams, you know that I pull on themes and are able to break down the really kind of in-depth concepts Oda brings to the table. It's not a matter of saying that One Piece doesn't have themes and it's simple-minded and not complex and incredibly well written. It's going too pretentious with it. That's all I'm saying. Just don't be too pretentious with it. Don't be too much of a fucking snob with it. That's all I was saying. I'm not saying that Oda can't pull stuff from themes and there aren't. Sometimes people attribute way too much to Oda's writing when he just probably did things for fun. And that's what I'm talking about, right? Like, people going a little bit too far with attributing either coincidences or fun things in the story with, like, oh, Oda was so ahead of his time when he did X, Y, and Z. Like, it's not always the case. Not always the case. Oh, I see. Okay. Understood, Chaos. Understood. But yeah, I think I'm going to end there, guys. We've been streaming for a good bit over an hour, so I think we're going to end the stream there. As fun as this conversation was and this back and forth, this debate, I had a great time. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you did, be sure to like the video, support the stream, support the channel. This is going to be one of those hallmark chapters that we come back to and kind of utilize as reference for things that are going to happen in the future that are going to be incredibly important. So, fucking awesome chapter. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good night.